Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the end of the blue lunar storm year. We are in the last 30 days of this galactic year, and so these energies are wrapping up. They're really climaxing in a sense. So I wanted to go back over the blue lunar storm energy a little bit, the energies of this year that we've been experiencing since the 26th of July, 2020, and we will conclude on the 25th of July this year, as we then move into the yellow electric seed galactic year, which begins on the 26th of July when the Earth makes an alignment with Sirius, the Sirius star system. And so this is a big, big energy, and we've all experienced it in many, many different ways as we've moved through from July of last year until now. I am going to link in the description box below the Blue Lunar Storm Year original video if you guys want to check that out and get an even deeper appreciation of these energies that we have been working with. So the blue storm energy is the energy of self-generation. It is the energy of the catalyst and the energy of course, the storm. And so throughout this year, we've really been learning how to become self-generating, how to become the catalyst for the change that we seek. A really good quote for the blue lunar storm energy is, "I am the change that I wish to see in the world." And so we're really learning how to be the initiators. We're learning how to master our own energy and how to conduct this energy in the world. We're learning how to be that calm center in the eye of the storm. And I think we can all really relate to that energy. My right ear just popped when I said that, right? There's been a lot of chaos. There's been a lot of that storm all around us. And so we've been getting opportunity after opportunity to learn how to be calm, how to live in the center of that energy instead of allowing that energy to just toss us about. And I've definitely noticed this, especially since eclipse season sort of kicked off, where a lot of us, there has been so much chaos going on. It's like the switch got turned back up again. And now all of a sudden we're once again having to learn, or not even having to learn because we've been learning it throughout this year, right? But we've had to remember everything that we've learned and really apply it. And that's what the culmination of any cycle is all about. It's about learning how to apply what it is that we have, the wisdom that we have gained, the growth that we have gained throughout the cycle. So we're really getting an opportunity to do that. When you are able to center yourself within the eye of the storm, you are then able to direct the energies instead of being directed by them. And so that's what we're really learning to do. And I wanted to read out of Astro Dream Advisor, actually. This is just coming to me now because I wasn't reading from this when I did the video for the Blue Lunar Storm. And so this energy is also about polarity, right? The lunar tone is all about challenge and polarity. It's about contrast. So we're really learning how to make opportunities out of challenges, how to see the opportunity in every challenge, and how to really meet those challenges head on with an empowered mind state. We've also been learning a lot about contrast. We've been seeing contrast in our reality, showing us what we want more of and what we don't want. And so we get to apply that moving forward, and we get to make the conscious choices that will help determine what it is that we are experiencing, whether we are experiencing the good contrast or the contrast that we don't like, right? If I don't like something, I want to do less of the things that contribute to that energy. If I do like something, I want to do that more. And I want to do more things that contribute to the cultivation of that energy. So we've been learning a lot about that as well as we've been going along. And so let me look here and see. Here we go, from the Astro Dream Advisor. And this is going to be really fun to read, as this is my personal galactic signature too. And I've gone over this a little bit, but I haven't gone over it completely. So it says, Blue storm is the initiation by fire, the lightning path, the arrival of the thunder beings who bring the final transformation. To the Maya, blue storm represents the storm, the thundercloud full of purifying rain, and the lightning that shatters any false structuring of reality. Blue storm is the purification of the body temple and the ignition of the light body. In these last years of a 26,000-year Mayan grand cycle, blue storm comes to help you in this disintegration process that moves you from separation to ascension. This initiation by fire breaks any false containers of self that cannot withstand the flame of transmutation. Only your true identity will live through these fires, for you will be reborn in the heart of all that is. Blue Storm provides the water that purifies and quenches your spiritual thirst. In this state of consciousness, you stand willing to surrender everything. You give up what you seem to be in order to become what you are. You step into the fires of the unknown, and you are changed forever. Allow Blue Storm's storm to purify and cleanse you. Blue Storm catalyzes and prepares your nervous system and circuitry for complete transformation. It is the electromagnetic storm of transmutation, the clearing and quickening of your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. As you become aligned with the descending energies and evolve in consciousness, your body's vibration is raised, becoming less dense. Your new alignment ignites the quickening process that transmutes the shadows of the past, including experiences, judgments, thought forms, and old patterns that have held you back. As you move into this new vibration, you may feel off balance. In this transformational shift, you will feel unusual quickenings on every level of your being. You will sense emotional and physical imbalances and restructuring. Your issues will be catalyzed and brought out for you to address. By being present with your old patterns, you have a unique opportunity to access the energy of Blue Storm, which is experienced as an inner transformational storm, a natural part of the process of vibrational shift and quickening. Whether you are experiencing these changes consciously or unconsciously, the vibrational change is adjusting your energy pattern to accommodate the flow of the language of light. These new frequencies feed you on every level of your being. As your transformation progresses, you quickly become aware of the unconscious material you still need to process. No longer can you escape the effects of your belief systems. Fears and negative images can all be felt very quickly. The transformation is experienced as if it were happening from the inside out. These things seem to cook inside you. Remember that you have chosen to take part in this rebirth, both on a planetary and a personal level. The planetary dream, the miracle on Earth, is what brought you here. You are becoming the living model of the new reality. As an emissary of great change, you are a transformer of the collective myth. Riding the crest of the wave, you are traveling both outward and inward on your journey home, for yourself and for all those who will follow you. A simple catalyst for this catapulting force is the integration of duality within. The personal integration of shadow is what will create the miracle. Personal shadow is simply that which is separated from the full light of consciousness. By integrating shadow, you are freed from delusions of right or wrong, good and evil. Shadow provides an opportunity for you to bring in all of your expanded essence. Consciousness is a structural metaphor that is calling for transformation. As your consciousness becomes crystallized, narrow, and complex, it invites the process of dissipation to unravel and break it free. As you travel the spiral vortex of light, expanding into ever-widening realms of truth, your crystallized energy breaks down and transcends form. This process can be very intense, but if you embrace it, you can be transformed into a freed adventurer, a divine actor who can play any part without becoming attached to it. And so if we have not been experiencing this, I don't know what we have been experiencing this year, right? This activation of our light body, this shadow integration, all of the fears and the anxieties being brought to the surface to be released, all of those belief systems that have been coming up, right? All of this deep transformation, both on a cellular level, on a mental level, on an emotional level. This is the Phoenix energy right here. And the planetary ruler of the blue lunar storm is Pluto. And so we definitely see this Plutonic energy that has been present as we all have been cleansed and purified. We've been releasing, we've been transforming. And so these are the final 30 days of this evolutionary cycle and process. And then we go into the yellow electric seed energy, which is all about creation, intention, and manifestation. So it really kind of blends in perfectly. Now that we have been transformed, now that we know who we are on a much deeper level, now that our energies are that much more powerful, we are able to manifest and create that much more powerfully from a place of more pure intent, right? And so the lunar tone I will read for you also. The lunar tone is the loom of reality, the sacred twins, cooperation, relationship, polarity of male and female, and duality. And we have, of course, also been doing a lot of work around harmonizing and balancing the masculine and the feminine energies. during this galactic year. 2 is the ray of polarity, the sacred twins, smoky mirror, and the clear reflection, all things in relationship. Polarity is the loom on which reality is strung, the magnetic dance of universal forces. Within the mirror of polarity, you will find the many faces of illusion, as well as ultimate freedom from illusion. Polarity reveals your conflicts, struggles, and the apparent separation created by your beliefs in duality. Examine your attractions and aversions. Discover the loom of reality that is intricately woven in relationship. Utilize the teachings that are held in the number 2. Polarized positions actually work in cooperative alliance. In cooperation, all polarities serve as backgrounds for full appreciation of one another and the whole. Also examine the polarity of male and female within yourself. Explore your divine feminine and masculine aspects. Look for the gifts within your relationships. Investigate the polarities within them and explore the natural lines of force and growth they create. Remember, polarity is the pulse of universal source. And so really looking at those polarities, looking at those contrasts, really coming to understand polarity and the fact that opposites are not contradictory, they are complementary. And so we're going to pull some black moon astrology cards, clear, to get some energy for this end of the blue lunar storm. First card out, fire, desire. That fire being lit within us, those fires of transformation, right? And then we have the Leo, I will energy. And we have the Capricorn, I use energy. So this is how I use my will, right? How do I enact my will in the world? I'm really feeling solar plexus energy between this fire card, between this Leo card, right? So a lot of that energy with the activation of our will, with the activation of our empowerment. And we saw this with that lengthy transit in Aries that Mars went through at the end of last year, which was part of this galactic year. We really saw that building of our empowerment and of our competence, our confidence in our ability to really enact that will, enact that vision in the world. And this is, of course, going to carry over into the yellow electric seed year, as this is what we're learning to do, is how do we focus that will. We've really been learning a lot this year about what it is that we truly want. What is our desire? What lights that spiritual fire within us? And we've been learning how to tend to that spiritual fire. We've been learning how to express ourselves. We've been learning how to step outside of the box, how to really show who we truly are. And also we've been learning a lot of lessons about love and how to wear our heart on our sleeve, right? That's what Leo energy does. And so the ways that we love and appreciate one another, the ways that we love and appreciate ourselves. But we're really learning above all else how to use that fire, how to channel that fire, how to channel that will, right? That's that self-catalyzing, self-generating principle. That's that principle of being the change that we want to see in the world. And we got the Mars card on the bottom of the deck here. So a lot of that empowerment energy, that empowering of our divine masculine, the healing of the divine masculine aspect of our nature as well, and the harmonization, as we talked about, of our masculine with our feminine. Then we have the Sagittarius IC card. So there's been a lot that's become a lot more clear this year. We're seeing at a deeper level our ideals, our morals, our beliefs, our values. For many of us have flipped and flopped and switched and changed and been revised over and over again as this year has progressed. And it's also our sight has deepened. Our insight into ourselves, our insight into others, our perspective has deepened, right? And so it's also, how do we use that new perspective? How do we utilize the sight, the increased sight and vision that we have now? And then the air element, communicating, right? So this is very much that energy of the mind now, which is that other major energy that we've been working with throughout 2021 now, as we are learning how to master the mind. We're learning how to master the fire and the air elements. It's very fitting that these two come out. And you know what fire and air do when they get together, right? It is very much an explosion. It is very much a storm. Air feeds fire. And so it's this process of burning, this, like we said, that phoenix energy. And so we've been learning a lot about how to master our minds, how our minds work, how to communicate our vision, how to communicate our insights, how to communicate our perspectives, and how to communicate with one another when our beliefs are different, when our truths and our perspectives are different. How can we still communicate effectively in that space? How can we speak our truth That has been a big energy that's been coming up as well, the energy of speaking our truth. Yeah, and the Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, which is, of course, air, the mind. And so that Virgo energy coming out, it's like us really learning how to use our minds to a higher level. Mercury is the ruler, is exalted in Virgo, meaning that it functions the best in Virgo because it is a very grounded, stable mental energy. And so we're really learning how to stabilize our energies in a lot of ways. Even though we are in this process of purification, we are in this process of being reborn, we're also, and like there is a lot of chaos as our light bodies are expanding, as all of these changes are occurring, after we're thrown into storm after storm until we learn how to master that energy. However, there's a lot of stability that comes out of that. When everything that is not stable is shaken loose, only that which is stable remains. Right? And then we're able to build from that. And so that's a lot of what we've all seen happening throughout this blue lunar storm year. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Venus love. Right? And so that is all about partnership. That is all about relationship, the relationship to ourselves, and how that manifests out in our world as our relationships with others, our relationship with abundance and finance, our relationship with the material world, with our own sense of creativity. Really, with the fire and the Leo here, this is highly creative energy. There has definitely been a surge of creative energy that we have experienced. And for some people, it's just like this creative energy almost just came out of, there was so much chaos, so much confusion, and so much pain, and so much coming up within us that we had no choice except to find a creative outlet for it. So it helped people tap back into that aspect of themselves in that way as well. I want to pull a couple Wisdom of the House of the Night cards. Clear. Let's get some energies. This blue lunar storm year. What's been coming up? What's been going on? What are we wrapping up now? That's what we really want to look at. What are we wrapping up? What are the final lessons that we want to learn from this blue lunar storm year? As we come into a mastery of this energy. First card out is Reminder. We had Lust trying to pop out there with a few more, but we're going to see. We want to get something a little bit clearer here. All right, Trapped. Then we have Hope and the Fledgling. Okay. So, this reminder here, with this Trapped card coming out, this is the energy that we've been seeking to free ourselves from. Throughout this blue lunar storm year, we have realized what restricts our energy, what causes our energy to feel trapped, what causes us to feel caged. And we've been given the keys to let ourselves out of that cage. And so we're being asked not to forget. Not to forget the things that we've learned, not to forget the experiences that we've had. We don't have to carry the pain or the trauma with us, but we want to remember. We want to remember what it felt like to be trapped, because we don't want to allow ourselves to be trapped again. And there are so many different traps and so many different ways that we can become trapped, that we can become sort of lured back into old behaviors, old thought patterns, right? Back into the denser energies of the 3D matrix. And so remembering that and being very cognizant of that. We're being asked to continue to be cognizant of our energy and to really notice. It's almost like there are energies that are going to come back up to sort of entice us possibly back into some of that old energy, those old cycles and behaviors. And so we get to firmly close the door on that within the next 30 days. But we want to be aware. We want to be very aware of our vibration. We want to be very aware of the significance of the events that are happening right now. Understand that everything that is happening is highly significant. So paying attention and really setting ourselves free anywhere where we're still allowing ourselves to feel trapped, where we still feel as though we are existing in this cage. We want to release ourselves. We want to free ourselves from that. And then I love the Hope card here with the Fledgling. So this is hope for the new beginnings. Right? The fledgling is when we're starting out fresh and new. When we don't really know, we don't have all the answers yet. We don't have the experience with our new form, right? It's like we said, the energy of us being transformed. We don't have experience with this new version of ourselves. Where we have to give ourselves time to grow into it. And I think that a lot of people, it's almost like wanting to throw in the towel before we've even begun, because we don't necessarily always have that faith and trust that we're going to figure it out. It's like, well, it was easier the way it was before. I might have felt like this, but at least it was easier. At least, the bird in the cage, hopefully, is going to be fed. It doesn't have to worry about a whole lot. Right? Like, things were simpler then. That's sort of the energy that some people may be feeling. It's like, I don't know if I can do this. I thought that I could, but maybe I can't. I thought I was good enough, but maybe I'm not. It's that sort of energy. So if that energy is coming through, scrap that, release that, cancel, clear, delete that. We're not allowing ourselves to go there, right? We have to have hope for the future. We have to have hope and faith. We have to have hope long enough for that hope to grow and deepen into faith and trust. That even though we are unsteady on our legs right now, those legs will grow stronger to support us as long as we continue to nourish ourselves and our journey. And I saw the complicated card with 11 here, and this being a 1. And those popped into my mind at the same time. And 111 is often an angel number that reminds us to be conscious of our thoughts. And so Spirit is wanting you to be very conscious of your thoughts. Where are you engaging in self-limiting thoughts? When you catch yourself doing that, reroute those thoughts, because those thoughts are manifesting a reality. Part of how, remember, this mind energy was a big part of what we've been learning. And so that mastery of the mind is noticing when that's happening and redirecting that, right? Understanding the power of our minds and using that positively. Allowing ourselves, giving ourselves the time that we need to grow into who we are becoming. And not just throwing in the towel. And then we have conclusion and summon coming out. And so I love that, right? This is the conclusion, the ending of these cycles, of these old patterns, of these old ways of being, as we call in what's new. The end manifests the new beginning. It's sort of like whether we know it or not, it's kind of like what they're saying is there are things that have ended or concluded that maybe some of us aren't so happy about right now. Maybe it still stings a little bit. Maybe we're having trouble releasing and letting go of it. However, those endings we actually created. We actually wished for those without knowing. Whatever your intentions were, whatever it was that you were asking for, it required the end of something first. And even if you don't understand it now, just trust that is what Spirit's saying. These things had to end for you to get what it is that you truly want and what is truly meant for you. And it's interesting because those are number 12 and 13. These cards are definitely shuffled, so they're not in consecutive order, but these came out in consecutive order. And so this is very much that energy of the ending first, number 12, and then the beginning, number 13. And then what you want comes in, but you have to let what's ending end first. All right, I'm going to pull a couple Zodiac 108 cards to close this, I think. Clear. Let's get some energy for this blue lunar storm, the closing of this blue lunar storm year. Let's get some energy for the closing of the blue lunar storm year. We have the Inventor and the Convertible coming out. This is about free will, change, freedom, innovation, imagination, inspired ideas. So how are you creating? What are you creating? This has been a big energy that we've been called to ask ourselves. What am I creating? What do I want to create? Is what I'm creating bringing me closer to freedom? We have that power within us. This power of creation has really been activated within us. At this time, the situation is stable and unlikely to change. So this is that stability coming in, right? We talked about how everything was thrown up in the air and now it's stabilizing itself. Now we are stabilizing. That doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to change and shift. That just means that we have transformed. That transformation has happened. You can't reverse it. You can't go back to what was. Even if you feel like you want to, even if you feel like it would be easier, it won't, because you're not the person you were before. And some of us have gone back to those things, or will in these next 30 days. And when we do, we're going to realize they don't fit anymore. They don't feel right anymore, because what's done cannot be undone. We can't become who we used to be. As much as we sometimes wish that we could, we have to embrace the fledgling that we are now, because there is no turning back the clock, so to speak. I don't like using time metaphors because we know it's an illusion, but you guys know what I mean. All right. So we have the person of fire with the dynamite. So this is catalytic energy right here. We have catalyst in both of these cards. So this year has been a catalyst. We are becoming that catalyst, right? With the person of fire coming out. With the Leo card, right? And we've got Leo energy quite a few times here. So I feel like Leo season. And so let's think about this. Yeah, Leo season, the final few days, or the first few days of Leo season is going to be the absolute end of the blue lunar storm year. And so we may expect some really explosive energy in those last few days as we transition into Leo season here with all of this Leo energy coming out. But this is the visionary. This is the creative, right? Courageous, the strong-willed. This is the energy that we have been cultivating within ourselves. And then this is also saying the roadblock card is coming up here. So that's interesting. But the dynamite next to the roadblock, what does dynamite do? If there's something blocking your way and you throw a stick of dynamite at it, it's probably going to move. You will probably have a way through. So I think that's interesting. So I feel like it's saying you have much more ability to affect your circumstances than you realize. And that's something that we have really been realizing throughout this year. And we've been learning the ways that we affect that in the ways that we want, and the ways that we create in a way that we don't. Right? So that we can know the difference. Tell me more about the roadblock here. I feel like we've encountered a lot of roadblocks throughout this year, and those roadblocks have been the catalysts that have called us more deeply into our own power when we realize, all right, so what do I do? There is something blocking my path. What do I need to learn from this? What can I learn about myself in this process? How can I proceed? Right? How can I surrender? When is it that a call to surrender? And when is that a call to think of another solution? When, really, we've learned a lot about ourselves through these roadblocks. These roadblocks have been the catalysts that have brought us even more deeply into our personal power. And then we have the well with book burning. And so this is that energy of rewriting history. That's the word that's calling to me from this card right now. Looking deeper. Seeing the deeper meaning behind everything with the well. And really rewriting history. Seeing and noticing, we've really come to see all the different ways that control, right? That we've been censored and silenced and controlled. All of that has really come to a forefront this year. We're really beginning to see that. We're beginning to notice where the mind games and the manipulation is taking place. We're seeing the deeper meaning behind everything. Behind the constraint of our freedoms. Behind the narrative, right? The narratives of our society, the narratives of the world that we are changing as we shift this paradigm. And of course we have the Phoenix card on the bottom of the deck, as we would. With the birdcage under that, which is interesting. The birdcage has come out twice. Tell me more about the well and the book burning. Optical illusion. Anywhere where we feel as though we are not free. Anywhere where we feel as though our freedom is being limited. That's an illusion. that attempt is being made, but we can never truly be constricted. We are always free. That freedom comes within here. We are divine spiritual beings. We are autonomous. We are sovereign. And so we're really learning that. In these times when our freedom is restricted, we step more deeply into true freedom. We realize and understand what true freedom is, and that freedom is in our perception. It is a state of mind. It is a perception. We get to choose whether something restricts us or not. Yeah. Yeah. And this is also part of what we're burning, part of what we're canceling is all of this, these projections, this programming, the reprogramming. Yeah, powerful energies, you guys. Any final cards here? Flamingos, lovers, soulmates, attraction, two of a kind. Interesting. Any more on this? This flamingos card? Summer. It is summer right now in the Northern Hemisphere. And person of earth, grounded, stable. So there's definitely a stability coming in for many of us in love as well. We may have been shaken up deeply. Our relationships may have been shaken up. We may have changed and transformed so much that we were no longer compatible with those that we once were. But there is energy coming in. There is like energy coming in. The summer card also says within 3 to 6 months. But I'm really feeling this summer for a lot of people. That energy is coming in. For some, it's in the form of an earth sign. For some, it's simply somebody who is stable, somebody who is dependable, coming into our reality. Somebody who's now a match for our new vibration. All right, and I'm going to pull a Beyond Lemuria card to close here. Clear. Give me some guidance, Lemurians. Give us some guidance for this wrap-up of the Blue Lunar Storm year. So pay attention. See the deeper meaning underneath the illusions. Recognize illusions for what they are. We've really been taught how to do that this year. That's something important that we've been learning. Is how to recognize illusion for what it is. How to recognize truth for what it is. How to go deeper, how to go within in order to find that truth. And once we found that truth, how to accept it. All right. All right, that's a lot of cards. Water the violet flame and shine your light. We're trying to... Oh, my God. So many cards trying to come out here, you guys. They just want... Oh, my God. They want to say everything to us right now. That's how much growth we've had this year, is that all of the cards are coming out. Yeah. So we'll look at these. We'll look at these because I'm definitely feeling those. Going beyond the mind. We're talking about that. The reprogramming of the mind, right? Going beyond, suspending our logical mind and diving deeper into our intuition. This is traveling between realms, right? This is air, the paradigm shift. Awakened awareness, which we talk about all the time, right? And transformation. Boom, done, right there. With the soul star chakra and the heart chakra underneath here. So this is merging with the divine. This is the chakra above the crown chakra, right? That really connects us to that divine intelligence. And of course, the heart chakra. The opening, so much that's been opening within our hearts to bring us back into a state of wholeness. And help us reclaim our energy. And express our truth. And balance our masculine and feminine, right? It's just, it keeps coming and coming and coming here. Yeah, but I do want to read this Beyond the Mind card for you guys. Thinking with the heart, being present, heart and mind connection. Meditation, the bliss of being, quieting the monkey mind, fathoming the unfathomable, finding happiness within and going beyond intellectual limitation. And so this is talking about the mastery of the mind, just like we said. Being present in the now. Learning how to be present in the now. Learning the power that we have when we are present, right? That's when we're able to shift and move between dimensions. That's how we have access to everything, to all of the knowledge that lies within us when we are truly present in the moment. So really learning how to quiet our minds, learning how to reprogram our minds, learning how to think from that heart center, how to feel, how to move from that heart, how to allow the heart to guide us. And that's the paradigm shift that we're moving into, right? It's moving from the mental, logical realm to the feeling realm, to the intuitive realm. Moving from a masculine dominated energy to a feminine energy that is complemented by a healthy masculine energy. Right? But first, before we balance, we have to know what the other one feels like. So we were in such an intensive masculine energy for such a long time, and it distorted masculine energy paradigm on this planet, that now we're moving into that feminine energy paradigm, so we can really feel into that, and then we will balance it out so that we have the balance of both, right? So we've been working on both of these energies, but we're really having to work on learning that feminine energy, because the feminine energy has been so misunderstood and so underused and underdeveloped for so long. Yeah, and this shift beyond the mind, beyond the human mind, to the greater mind, to the subconscious, the superconscious mind, is initiating this state of awakened awareness within us. And that is what is bringing about this final transformation. So really allow yourself to complete this shift in the next 30 days. This shift beyond your mind, beyond the linear, beyond the logic, to all the complexity in between. Allow your awareness to grow from that space of presence, from that space of observation, from that space of seeing underneath, seeing with that well, right? The deeper meaning, looking deeper, feeling deeper, tapping into that intuition, tapping into unplugging yourself from all of the programming, and see everything from this space of awakened awareness. And that is what is going to complete this transformation for us. And I want to look at awakened awareness here, see if there's anything I want to read about that for you guys. Clearing distortion and illusion. Awareness of what's running us subconsciously. Communing our God force, energetic sovereignty, growth outside your comfort zone, and the collective awakening. Yeah, this is going to be good to close. Physical reality is the tip of the iceberg. The tapestry we see at surface level is just a fraction of what is going on beyond. Awakened awareness can take place when we start to look between the lines at recurring themes, aspects, and symbols that gain our intuitive attention. These are keys to a hidden overarching plan and a greater weaving. This oracle speaks to the deeper nature behind all we can know with our eyes and minds. Also known as the matrix or the veil, once discovered, it is so easy to get lost in it. We are conditioned to be disoriented in our physical reality so that anything outside of it becomes unfathomable. Thus, we seek a framework that parallels the nature of the laws of this limiting place. And yet there is a lot more going on, and our awakening awareness would like us to stretch our consciousness to grasp it. This awareness activates our intuitive system, helps us navigate what is true, and supports us in becoming more sovereign and empowered. We can become more ensnared in the matrix when we are lost in what is running us internally. Running away and or distracting ourselves may offer short-term relief or band-aid our subtle but deep suffering. Society is coated with a layer of conformity. The idea of that's just the way things are done roadblocks questions when things may be out of alignment. But as we step free and awaken, we gain a more holistic approach to consciousness and come to know ourselves more deeply. We can then take things into our own hands and make changes in the world, thus regaining energy, choice, and abundance that is rightfully ours. As we wriggle into the revelations of freedom, we can't help but awaken those around us. A single glimpse of the limitless eternal, and your life will never be the same again. When we directly experience the transient yet profound moment of existence, we can allow the constructs we have spent our lives believing to drop away. Our knowledge of the eternal doesn't leave us, although we may forget it. As we return to our humanness, we may use reasoning to write it off. And that's why we go beyond the mind, right? Or we may create whole religions around it in an effort to grasp and recreate it. Look into the eyes of God raises our consciousness so we can fathom the unfathomable. This expansive experience can never be boxed into words or intellect, but artists, poets, and musicians may be able to share in a small way the essence that helps us remember ourselves back into our true state. The portals into this experience are vast in number and form. For me, awakened awareness has come through deep meditation, ecstatic dance, and journeying with my Dharma. In essence, connecting with this element is about raising our vibration, getting out of our heads, and allowing our spirit, and dare I say heart, to lead the way. When we walk behind the veil, we discover one true path. Our reason for being here is revealed in symbolic jigsaw puzzle pieces and synchronicities. The mysteries unweave and the paradoxes speak to a different part of us. Our affirmations are potent, our prayers are heard, and the medicine of life lessons, however strong and uncomfortable, is full of powerful growth. This is one of the elemental cards, because without moment-to-moment awakened awareness, magic, healing, and affirmation cannot be deep or real enough to actualize. This is not just imagining God, but seeing, knowing, and communing with the divine spark inside each of us. Yes. That's perfect. I think that's a perfect way to conclude this reading. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're feeling about the end of this blue lunar storm year. As I said, I will attach the original video in the description box below if you guys want to check that out and you haven't done so yet. There are also links below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And my email is down below if you would like to reach out for any of the different healing services or readings or anything that I provide. It is always an honor to work with you guys in that capacity. If you like this video, hit that like button, and I will talk to you all very soon.